Today, we will be hearing about an amazing charitable organization called Leveling the Playing Field. By collecting millions of dollars worth of sports equipment, this organization has continued to ensure that no child must sit on the sidelines. Today, I am joined by an old friend, Mr. Kenty, to learn more about this organization. Mr. Kenty, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you, Izzy. Thank you.
So would you be able to tell us a little bit more about this organization and what they do and their mission and whatnot?
Gladly. First of all, the organization was founded in 2013. Its founder, very active athlete as a child through high school. And for the founder, there was no restriction as far as affordability of equipment. So if you had to take what they are about, just think of two words: access and equity. It really began in the Washington metro area, in Washington. However, many of the people who were seeking equipment were coming from far away as Baltimore. And so the founder said, well, I think we better expand our area of operations to Baltimore. And it has been pretty much exclusively a Western Shore, how should we say, nonprofit. And so I was up at Bell Branch Fields in Davidsonville fall a year ago, and I saw this leveling the playing field bin. Please donate gently used athletic equipment to lpf.org. And I thought, well, what the heck is it? And so I did a little bit of research. And then I thought to myself, what a phenomenal organization. I want you, because you're very athletic, or any other person who is an athlete, or the parent of an athlete. So imagine you're in elementary school and you've played in recess with your peers and you've done some rec ball with your peers and you are very competitive with them. And now you're starting to advance beyond that rec level. And you're still very competitive, but you are involved in a sport where equipment's really expensive. Because it is. Go to a lacrosse tournament somewhere and take a look at the cost of just a stick, let alone a stick with a head. Or the cleats. On and on and on. How frustrating when you know you can compete with your peers, but you do not have the equipment you cannot afford, or the rec league that you are trying to become a part of simply doesn't have enough. About a year ago, this is how my initial exposure to the mission of leveling the playing field, a world without sidelines, access and equity. If you go back to probably close to when you were at Mattapique, we had no skate park on Kent Island. And yet that skate park came about as a result of children signing a petition, parents supporting that petition. It moved forward to the people who could make that happen. There it is. It's a beautiful skate park. What a great civics lesson. So then the wheels started turning. The SGA, and again, with administrative approval, start with headquarters and you work your way down the line, with administrative approval at Mattapique Elementary and Mattapique Middle, a petition signed by students, faculty, and parents made its way through the various and sundry channels here in Queen Anne County. And now there's a leveling the playing field bin at Kent Island High School. It's the first on the Eastern Shore. There is already a high school in Salisbury, Parkside High School, who has a relationship with leveling the playing field. So that, how should we say, branching out, almost starting to look at possibly a satellite on the Eastern Shore for leveling the playing field, that's the seed that we're really trying to plant. Seed doesn't grow without being watered and tended and cared for. Well, the tenders, the waterers, the caretakers are the residents of Queen Anne County. The coaches at the rec league, the coaches at the high school level, the families who have gently used athletic equipment sitting in their garages, or their children who have their equipment stowed in their closet because they've moved on to high school or college or whatever the case may be. They're the caretakers. They're the ones that water this program. Because like anything else, it's about, okay, we've started the drive, can we sustain it? Can you sustain the drive? That's the challenge before Queen Anne County residents, coaches at the rec level, high school level as well. Gosh, I hope I covered that well.
That was great. That was wonderful.
Oh,
You
good.
honestly, I think, covered every aspect we could have asked for, and I'm so happy that there is something like that now in this county, because it really is very unfortunate for kids who want to be able to do things and they can't because they don't have the access to the resources or the equity or equal opportunity or things like that. And I can attest to sports being expensive, as I grew up dancing my whole life, and one pair of point shoes is $160, and you go through 4 pairs in a year. And on top of that, all your other additional fees and whatnot, and it does get extremely expensive to continue in a sport. So I really appreciate that there is someone like you who sees that and wants to better this community for other kids.
You know, there's that trickle-down effect to where our state budget is right now, and also the withdrawal of federal funds. Maryland being one of the states that's targeted for withdrawal of federal funds. And I'm not in the slightest sense trying to be political. I'm just talking about the realities. Having lived through several downturns in the economy when I was teaching and coaching, I remember very well we could outfit 26 guys in JV football. But we only have 18 uniforms. We only have 18 sets of shoulder pads, 18 helmets, knee pads, butt pads, thigh pads, on and on. So then you have 6 people who could have participated there, but for the budget that got constrained because the money wasn't there.
Right.
You believe me, that same scenario is being played over and over and over again in many rec leagues as well as high school programs across this state and in other states across the country. It's the trickle-down effect of cuts in budgets. And that again finds its way. Why do class sizes increase? Because we don't have enough salary to pay the teachers. So you have this exponential, how should we say, effect across the board to all those entities that use that sort of funding. So when a program like this is there, it opens the door for those students who could have very well competed in that rec league program or in that high school program there, but for the equipment.
Right.
And there is so much interest on the part of leveling the playing field for seeing this seed. By allowing me to come in today to speak with you, QACTV has given this seed an opportunity to start to grow even more. The support from the PTSA at Mattapique Elementary, Mattapique Middle, their effort to get the words out. In speaking with the physical education teacher at Mattapique Elementary, the physical education teachers in Queen Anne County met, and he mentioned to all those physical education teachers, hey, if you have equipment that you'd like to donate at almost High Point High School, at Kent Island High School, go there and do that. Because that opens the door for us. You want to start introducing students at Sudlersville, Churchill, Kent Island Elementary, to lacrosse, to field hockey. This is the avenue to request that equipment. And now you can introduce children that you possibly couldn't introduce before. That's the opportunity knocking at the door. Yeah. Yeah. So what can I say? You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them think. And what I'm trying to do is to get the residents of this county to clearly understand that they are the catalyst. They are the ones who, if they buy into this program and help to sustain it, open up doors and open up futures for students to be involved in something, because you never want to be apart from. Everybody wants to be a part of, not apart from, a part of something. And athletics is a way for many students to be a part of that something. In 32 years in public education, I saw where students who came from all over the world, Southeast Asia, East India, the Soviet bloc countries, Serbia and Croatia, who came to this country with very, very, very little. And through athletics, as well as other extracurricular activities, have forged lives for them because of the opportunity that was put before them. This is an opportunity that's being put before our children in Queen Anne's County, as well as students in other venues on the shore. For crying out loud, what better opportunity could you ask for than to help to improve the lives of children and giving them a future to hold on to? There you go.
Yeah, and not just a future, but memories and lessons and friendships and relationships. And sports, like you said, that's a very important thing for kids. It's something they can be a part of. And like you said, everyone always wants to be a part of something. And by being a part of something, it's like almost like another family. And
it is.
so us as the community, as you said, like we will be the ones to contribute to this organization and growing this and helping more kids have these opportunities. Is there a limit to the type of equipment people can donate, or shoes, padding, clothing? What sorts of equipment can we give to be a part of the change?
Parker Bratton is our contact in Baltimore. And when I talked to Parker earlier in the week, he said, I do not want to discourage people from contributing. Let what is contributed come to us. Let us determine what we can use. And it's not that we can't use it. If we can't use it immediately, it has another shelf in the warehouse. It doesn't get pitched. There may be some things that there are very, very few requests for, but they don't disappear. They're there in the event that they're requested. When you go on their website, Leveling the Playing Field, there's an application. And see, that application is that's the conduit between Parker Bratton and us. We have an inventory of what we have here on Kent Island. Giving the Edge, another incredibly community-involved organization. when we were initially talking about keeping equipment on Kent Island, we were going, well, wait a minute. Where are we going to put it? So I contacted Mr. Woolley at the Edge, and he said, I just saw a spot on, I think it was one of the Baltimore stations, about leveling the playing field. If you need a place to store equipment, you can use one of my trailers. All these little pieces of a puzzle. The initial movement with the schools and the teachers at the schools and the administration but you still had pieces of the puzzle that had to be put in place. One was, okay, who's going to get this stuff to Baltimore? It's a great community outreach project for our National Honor Society. So now there's the corner. The puzzle's complete, except for that corner up there. Where are we going to put it all? Boom. Bob Woolley at the Edge. Now the puzzle is complete. But that's all it is. It's a complete puzzle. Now how do you take the picture that you see in the puzzle and make it reality? And that's the sustainability of this program.
The impact that we can make to continue growing that puzzle and
Yes,
branching
ma'am.
it even more. And
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And you were so right, there are so many memories tied to athletics, or your time when you were dancing, the people that you danced with. You'll get to be my age and you'll still have relationships with some of those people, and you'll do the, golly days, do you remember when? Yeah, you had a very good point there. There's more to athletics than just the here and now and the present. There are life lessons, many of them very valuable life lessons, that you learn through participation in a team sport, or an individual sport as well. Because the dedication, the time, the discipline, knowing what your priorities are, keeping your academics in focus, because academics are what take you where you're going to go in life. Except for a very, very, very few people, it's your academics that are going to take you where you go in life.
Do you have any personal lessons that you've learned from sports, whether it be from yourself or from another person, that you think inspired you to want to pursue leveling the playing field in Queen Anne's County?
I think as a parent of athletes, because all 4 of our children were athletes, and student athletes first. Your children start to age, and I think some of the funniest experiences I have as a parent are to sit around the table, Christmas, Thanksgiving, or Easter, whatever it might be, and they'll say, geez, Mom, geez, Dad, you remember when you said we shouldn't do that? Yeah, you were right. Well, those parents, surrogate parents, are coaches and teachers. They are people who, many of whom are parents, who think like you do as a parent. But there comes a period in time where your children naturally begin to separate from you. How do you find people who redirect them so that they don't veer too far? Those are coaches and teachers are coaches. The two go hand in hand. Motivation, inspiration, teaching people all the various and sundry aspects of this is why you're there on time, this is why you do your work, these are the rewards you can gain from it, and if you don't gain those rewards, that doesn't mean you quit, that means you try harder the next time. Those are all great life lessons. I learned that from coaches I had as well. Yes, you lose, you win with dignity. You also lose with dignity. That way, when you face those challenges in life where you want to zig, but life is zagging, you know how to bring it back into perspective. Yeah, athletics is one of those avenues that, and I had one of them that I ran into just last Sunday, who's now in his mid-50s. And I said to him, well, Jimmy, what did you learn at High Point? He said, I was thankful to have football. Without football, I might not have graduated. And he has in turn, in his mid-50s, become a very, very successful businessman. Mm-hmm. But he had to graduate from high school first. And there are a lot of those stories out there like that.
Yeah.
A lot of those stories. Yep. So I hope I captured that in a bit of a small sense for you. There are a lot of parents out there who are very, very busy. Life has dealt some of them a very difficult hand. Some parents are working multiple jobs just to keep a roof over their children's heads, clothes on their back, food on the table. Having a place for that child to go after school, to be involved with, again, coaches and students who are keeping them headed in the right direction. It's a benefit for those families. And again, through no fault of their own, those parents have to work. So that's where the extracurricular aspect of athletics for those who are in rec ball and then those who move on to high school are so fundamentally important. So fundamentally important.
Well, I have no more questions for you, but I think that this is such an amazing program. And thank you so much again for coming in today and telling us more about it. And
absolutely.
I truly hope that this is going to reach the right audience and continue to grow the puzzle. I am so glad today that we got to learn more about leveling the playing field. If you or anybody you know want to continue being a part of the cause, go to the drop-off bin at Kent Island High School by the girls' softball field, and for more information, check out their website anytime.